Hello, everybody. I am back again. I'm on my feet again. So again, for those who don't know, I've been a little bit unwell for the past few weeks. After the crash, as you guys know, I crashed my motorcycle, broke basically everything from the hair down. My leg hasn't been doing so great. I had a piece of my motorcycle decided to make its way inside my leg, and I got really, really unwell from it. But I'm doing so much better, and you know what? I just could not wait to get back to making videos. And yeah, I'm excited to bring some of this stuff. Like, I'm still a fan of all of this kind of content myself. So it's like, damn, I want to make a video about that, but then I would, feel really nauseous and not be able to move. But anyway, no big deal. We have a Karen here. And this Karen, this again is from OSG, and I'm not just here like ganking OSG shit. It's just I watch basically everything OSG puts out because, they're always really, really good. You know it's bad when a cop needs a protection order against somebody. And I used to see this all the time when I worked in the courts myself. I actually did spend, again, I was injured, of course, had a broken wrist, and I spent quite a bit of time working in the protection order court. And so I used to see some beautiful stuff like in real life. So anyway, we have this Karen here. She wants the judge to drop a protection order that he granted, or that maybe another judge granted, against her on behalf of a police officer. And then she accuses the judge of basically defending said police officer. So let's check this one out. Again, this one's from OSG, and it's Judge Rossi. So it's going to be
Yeah, no,
something
and
good.
I
In
guess
front
what
of
I'm getting
everybody.
here,
My daughter had to see them abuse me and almost kill me outside, throw me in the police car, and then all of them did it to me in jail.
This is the people of the state of Michigan versus Mandy Morgan, case number 18-07768-FH. And this hearing is being recorded on Zoom and live streamed on YouTube.
Thank God
and
for
this
that.
matter comes before the court today on Miss Morgan's request to set aside a conviction, two convictions of assault, resist, obstruct a police officer from 2019.
So that kind of adds some more to it. So I'm assuming a lot of the stuff with the RO comes from those convictions. Now, just real quick, I might need to go off screen once or twice here. This isn't a very long video. It's about 15 minutes or so. I might have to go off screen a couple of times. So I'm trying to stand up as much as I can and walk around as much as I can because I need to get the blood flowing in the leg. But sometimes it gets a little bit too much. So I got to go sit down or just kind of maybe stroll around the room a little bit. So just ignore me if you see me like walking around in the background or just randomly disappearing. I'm going to leave this play while I have a little bit of a stroll here in just a second. But yeah, let's get back to it.
So, as an initial matter, counsel, why don't you place your appearance on the record?
Bonnie Pravet on behalf of the people.
Very well. And ma'am, you're Miss Morgan. You're going to have to unmute Miss Morgan.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm sorry.
All right. And Miss Morgan, I'm going to swear you in if you'd please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony today will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Ms. Morgan, did you receive the prosecutor's office's response to your motion?
Yes, I did. I didn't understand it though.
Okay. Well, I can tell you that I received that. And did you receive a copy of the letter from Police Department Detective Levi Guppy?
I think it was some man. It was some man who wrote a letter. He said he can't appear in court.
Yeah, he was a Grand Rapids police officer, and his the gist of his letter there was that
Excuse me.
and I'm not certain if it was it was in connection with this incident because he describes the resisting and obstructing as you trying to force your way into a vehicle against his orders at the time while you were intoxicated. And stemming out of that, then he states there were false allegations, including internal affairs complaints with the police department and the jail alleging discourtesy, excessive force, sexual discrimination, and racial discrimination, and also with the Department of Civil Rights against the city of Grand Rapids. Uh, uh, him, Detective Guppy, and the county sheriff's office. Um, and that ultimately all those investigations concluded by 2022 with the finding of that they weren't supported or that they were false in the case of the internal affairs complaints. So he is requesting that I deny the request to set aside the conviction based on, one of the standards to set aside conviction is that the amount of time has passed since the conviction, and second, that your conduct during the time since the conviction has been good enough to merit setting aside the conviction. Why shouldn't I do what the detective wants me to do in this case and deny your request at this time?
Well, I was abused that whole night. I had brought out body cams with that lawyer that I had. He's not saying any of that, Judge. He's not saying anything about how he punched me into my head multiple times. The only reason why I went to go into the truck with the key is to turn my alarm off. And I
Sorry, no, but like, okay. Let's imagine, right, that all of what she's saying is true, that, you know, she was abused and all the rest of it. That still doesn't mean that she didn't do what they said she did. So that wouldn't be grounds in and of itself to have it overturned, right? Like, I assume I'm right on that. Like, correct me if I'm wrong.
was in handcuffs already. I got slammed to the ground. I got almost beaten to death outside and in the jail.
All right. Well, I was there. Obviously, I didn't see what happened. What lawyer represented you in the matter?
I don't remember her name, but I know she was tall and she had red hair.
Okay. Was she your criminal
It was a long
lawyer?
time ago, so I
It
really
might have been Laura Joyce, I suppose. She's with the
yes, I think
defender's office
that's
and fits your
yes.
description. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, the bottom line though is that even after reviewing the cameras and the information during the investigation, none of those agencies found a reason to, sustain your complaint or even write a letter of reprimand, much less take any disciplinary action.
So it was warranted then, essentially. Like, I mean, it's not nice that anybody needs to get, you know, to get hit or to be physical with them or whatever. Like, that sucks and all, but sometimes you have to. That's just the nature of it.
It sounds to me like that the allegations, weren't supported adequately by the video and things like that, or I would have expected some sort of um, outcome to come out of those investigations. So, I guess uh,
They
At
didn't
least
even give
one.
me a chance to, even voice my opinion on how that happened. Even my auntie was the one who called the police and lied. How am I driving with my daughter when my car was parked in my auntie's yard and my dad had my keys? See, nobody was there, to actually see really what happened.
yeah.
But hold on. She said that she was going back into the car to get the keys. How could that be the case if her daddy had the keys?
My
Whole,
whole
whole,
family seen it, and I feel like how they almost killed me that night. I feel that I should have a chance of freedom of all the good. I mean, I've been good for how many years? I haven't even been a felon. My
Oh, wow.
background isn't even bad. I'm not
Oh, like, congratulations. Your fucking medal's in the mail. Like, a chance of freedom? Like, she's in her own gaff right now. Like, that's freedom.
that type of person.
why don't you
But for
describe to me some of the other things you've been up to since that time?
I
Uh,
got me a job. I work at sanitation.
okay.
Fair play.
How long have you been
I
working there?
DoorDash. I have a 14-year-old daughter,
Awesome.
How long you been working?
almost a month now.
Okay.
Fair play.
It just hurts me because they almost killed me. And my mental state is really bad against, like, I'm scared to death of the police. How a man feels like they can punch me in my head that hard and so many times and expecting me just to take it.
Okay, now obviously I haven't seen what she's talking about, right? So I'm not able to kind of say, okay, what she's saying is true or false, right? Obviously not, right? I don't think anybody is. It is always quite confronting in scenarios, especially where the offender is a female and the officer's male and they have to hit them, right? Like, it never looks good. It never ever looks good, you know, when somebody's on the floor and a cop has to hit them. The reality of it is, no, you're always going to get a few jumped up assholes who are going to take an opportunity to hit somebody. They might be sexist, they might be racist. It may well be the case, okay? I'm not discounting that. Like, I'm not here to say that all cops are angels by a long shot, because I've seen it with my own eyes when I was working. Not a lot of them aren't, right? Okay, fine. The reality is there is circumstances where a cop needs to hit somebody. You know, like, it's either that or you're going to get sprayed, tased, or shot. Take your pick. I don't know about you lads and lassies, but if I was acting up, I'd much rather get a clock in the head than get tased. Like, riding the lightning ain't fun. I can tell you that much. I can tell you, you could break walnuts with your ass if you get tased. And it sucks. It is awful. And I only had it for like 3 seconds, I think we had to do. And we hold the prongs. That sucks. Being pepper sprayed is one of the worst things in the world. It is awful. And yeah, you know, having a bam bam situation, you know, dying of lead poisoning, that's obviously not going to be good. So yeah, you do see these, you know, sometimes open hand strikes, sometimes just straight up punches. Because if somebody's hands are hidden, you don't know what they have, and you need to get them to release, then you gotta just wail on them, like, and it doesn't look good. I get that, especially if it's a female. Like, that's just the reality of it. You might say, oh well, you know, they deserve it either way. Sure, fine, but it doesn't look good. So I get it. It can look confronting. It just doesn't mean that there isn't a good reason to do it. So just because she's a woman doesn't discount the fact that she can be very dangerous. You know, a 90-year-old lady with a handgun can be just as dangerous as me with a handgun. Mind you, I couldn't hit water if I fell out of a boat, but that's neither here nor there.
And how they threw me in the holding cell and put their knees in my back, sir.
You might,
Yeah,
if you weren't
well, and
complying.
like I said, I of course wasn't there. I didn't see any of those things. I do see that, you know, ultimately coming out of that, you did plead to the two. Uh,
They
with
made me plead to that too. And it also says attempt as a misdemeanor.
right,
They
they were
made me
both
plead to that.
attempted.
Can't
Yeah,
be made
yeah,
plead.
They
both
made
both
me plead to
misdemeanors.
that because of what they did. They didn't want me to go further with what they did to me out there.
Even if you did plea, you could still go and, you know, press charges or try to get charges brought against those people. You can't be made to plea. Just technically, you cannot be forced to plea, right? We've all watched these court videos for, you know, endless hours where they say, has anybody promised you or coerced you to make this plea? And you say no. Now, if you've been coerced, you're going to probably say no anyway, right? Of course. So it does happen. There's no doubt about it. And sometimes it's fair to say that, you know, they do kind of force your hand a little bit. It's kind of like, well, look, if you plead to the misdemeanor and take a rap on the wrist rather than fighting the charge and risk getting a felony. So, like, I get where she's coming from. You can feel coerced into it. But either way, even if she took it on the chin from the get-go, you can if you'll excuse that pun based on what allegedly happened, she can still go and fight for what happened to her if it is strong enough. And she did. She brought it all the way to the internal affairs, to a commission, the whole shooting match. And they all said no. Every one of them.
Well, I mean,
Body
when
cams were shown in the court and everything.
Yeah, and they
you
said
know,
no.
when I do take pleas, you know, every week, and when you
Let me
take
see if
one,
I
you
can
do
find
have to
these body
say
cams.
that, you know, you are guilty of what the charges are, and that you know, no one's threatening you or you know, making any side deals with you, as it were. And it sounds like then that you know,
In that court hearing, it was all types of side deals. The man wasn't even there during any court hearing. I just don't find this fair at all.
well, I understand. However,
Might not need to be there,
you
you
know,
know.
part of the set aside process is they're taking the responsibility for what happened in the past. And it sounds like, unfortunately, you're just not there yet. And, there may be,
Oh,
say, I don't understand the underlying,
well, is there any way that I could push this further of them beating me since they want to push everything away? Because if I can't do this now, then I'm going to push this through the courts of how they put their hands on me and almost kill me
Do
yeah,
it.
over a
well,
lie
with
that
regard
somebody
to that,
called on me.
yeah, the only thing I can advise is certainly a lawyer could take up those complaints,
Do it. Do it. You have every right to do it. I don't know what happened, is the reality. None of us watching this right now, unless you have seen body cam footage that I haven't, none of us actually know what happened. She may have absolutely done nothing wrong, and she may have gotten hammered for no good reason. Let's just say that's the case. Go for it. Fight it. By all means, you have every right to. It doesn't take away from the fact that you were found guilty or that you pled to these offenses. No, you can claim that you were coerced or whatever. Maybe you were. And if that's the case, fight it. Fight the fucking thing. But yeah, I just don't buy
if
it.
they found there was enough of a case there, you could
Yes,
bring.
I am because
Oops.
I would really like and I would like to if anyone could send me his information to where I can give to a lawyer because this right here I feel that's not right that a police officer had a right to punch me as big as he is with
Size don't
handcuffs
matter.
on me in the back of my head
All
so
right.
many
Well,
times.
here's what I'll do is I'm gonna deny it today.
I want to see that body cam.
However, I'll mark on the denial that you can reapply in a year. That'll
That's
give you
fair.
some time to go through it with a lawyer. Um, Guy I used to work with, Steve Drew, handles complaints against police officers. He's at
Yes, I would really like to
Drew
push
Cooper
through with that
Nanding. If
because
you want someone to review the case, he'll at least review it. And I can't make any comment as to its merit, but you can certainly tell Steve that Judge Rossi recommended him, as an attorney to possibly
That's
review
very
the
fair.
case at least.
yeah, because I want to reopen that up or something because I feel that that's not right that that happened to me in front of my daughter.
Yeah, no, and I
In
guess
front
what
of
I'm getting
everybody.
here.
My daughter had to see them abuse me and almost kill me outside, throw me in the police car, and then all of them did it to me in jail.
Yeah.
If that, I wish that lawyer was here
But was
because
it
she
because of your
understood
actions?
exactly and she seen what happened.
I want
Well,
to
and
see that body
certainly
cam.
if
And
Miss
that
Joyce is.
man, he has no heart with God. That's
All
all
right.
I can say.
Well, Miss Joyce still works at the defender's office. I'd certainly be willing to either hear her testimony or review any letter or anything she would submit in support. But what I've got right now is two different, sides of the story saying the opposite thing. I've
I
got
feel
you
that you're
saying this was
believing
terrible, and
him. You're
yeah.
taking his side.
Well, all I
And
can,
that's okay. That's
yeah,
okay because like I said, God sees what happens and how people treats people.
I
And
agree, and
justice
all I can say
is
is,
not served with this.
yeah, and it seems like the paperwork, at least on,
And for
from
you to
his
sit
perspective,
there and
cleared him.
discriminate towards me like I didn't learn knowing you
What?
wasn't there.
What? What? What is she talking about? How is he discriminating against you? He's literally telling you, here's a guy. This dude is the guy to go to deal with your issue. He also gave this whole, you can come back in a year once you've How is he discriminating against you? He wasn't there. Was he one of the cops? Was he standing there? What?
And
I agree, and
justice
all I can say
is
is,
not served with this.
yeah, and
We're
it
missing
seems like the
something, man.
paperwork, at least on,
And for
from
you to
his
sit
perspective,
there and
cleared him.
discriminate towards me like I didn't learn knowing you wasn't there, I feel that ain't right either, sir. That's
Yep,
not
no,
right at all.
What the fuck
I
is she on about?
understand
So
the,
yeah, I would like to push this further,
yep,
very
and you can
higher. And I,
also
matter of fact,
appeal,
I want to
Very
sue
higher.
him
yeah.
for abusing me and almost killing me.
Well, I'd like to say I'd recommend on the civil side, talk to Steve Drew. He
Ow.
can give you the parameters if it's a good case or not. That he
Oh,
will.
it's definitely going to be a good case because then body cams is going to get brought back in.
All right.
I have no doubt it's going to be good, but not for the reasons that you think so.
Well, like
So
I
yeah,
say,
I appreciate that.
and then you can bring this to set it aside again in a year when maybe there's a little more clarity on
I
what
don't see how it's clarity when you're not even trying to, you're listening to mainly what he did and say it's okay for a man to abuse a woman.
Well, I don't want to say that, but I do say that, it looks like from his perspective, at least, all those internal investigations that they did in the Department of Civil Rights, I assume did not find
He
any
the one who stopped
cause.
all that. He did. So
Well, but
yes.
those are independent, they have some
But for you to sit
duties.
there and discriminate towards me, though, out of a
Well,
whole
I'm
7
not
years
trying to
that
be
I never been a
discriminatory
felon,
yet.
I never
Oh,
assaulted
wow.
nobody, I never did anything like that. So yeah, for you to say that to me, that's not right at all.
Yep,
So
I
yeah,
understand your
let's push
position,
this
but
further, and I'd rather end this.
yep, I'm just reading the files.
Lads, what am I missing here? What did she expect was going to happen? That she was going to go in there, say all that stuff, and the judge would go, "Yep, you're exonerated now. Let you go pick up that cop and put him in jail." What a dumbass! I'm sorry, to put it so in such plain words, but that's an idiot right there. Frankly, okay, and it doesn't matter that she's a woman. It doesn't matter about her skin color. None of that shit matters. She's an idiot, plain and simple. Dumbass.
So the request is
Exactly.
denied
That's all
at
you're
this
doing
time.
is reading a file. You're
No, and
not
that's
sitting
all
here
That's
understanding
his
as a
job.
man, feeling it's okay for them to punch me all in my head and throw me on the ground for a lie that my auntie said. That
All
was
right.
the whole thing was a lie. And I'm going to push that too because it's not right to make false lies to the police.
All
That's
right.
False lies. Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. Law talk with Mandy Morgan. Don't make false lies to the police.
against the law.
I understand what you're saying, and I'm more than willing to hear additional evidence, but it'll have to be a year from now.
That's all right. That's
We can
fine.
bring
What
it again.
I might as well end it now then.
All right. Thank
But
you.
I know one thing. I really hope God takes care of y'all.
All right. Thank you.
Alrighty, Mandy. How do we even break this one down? Oh, mother of God. Okay, so just to kind of recap, right? Sorry, my leg is absolutely vibrating now, so I got to make this super quick. So this moron over here obviously got in trouble, right? Now, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there, but she was found guilty. She pled guilty, whatever. So she's guilty in the eyes of the law, okay? Now, may there have been coercion? Who knows? Possibly, right? It happens. Okay, fine. We'll accept that. Fact of the matter is, she made these complaints about these officers maybe being too heavy-handed with her. And I get it. It can look that way. I'm sure it can feel that way, and it sucks. But you kind of got yourself into this situation. So I don't really have a lot of sympathy there. Then the judge is trying to help you. He's literally saying, here's the guy to go to. He didn't have to say shit. He's saying, here's the guy to go to help you with this situation, to maybe be able to further this for you. And then she says that he's discriminating against her. I'll discriminate against you for being an idiot. How about that? Simple. If brains were dynamite, you wouldn't have enough to blow her nose. Anyway, lads and lassies, I've got to go put my leg up because it's pretty sore right now. I got some more for you, and we'll catch you in a little bit. Sláinte. Hello, everybody. The Irish Demon here. Finally back with another video. Been very, very under the weather the last few weeks. I've had quite a bit going on with the leg and stuff like that. So I'm trying my best to kind of get back up and running. I hope you're all doing really, really well. I found this video here today. This one comes from the OG themselves, Old Squishy Gardener. And we've got a Karen and Court here going absolutely apeshit. And yeah, I think you're going to really, really like it. So check this out.
So I can have my son for the weekend. I don't have him again for another 2 weeks.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 87A District Court. I'm Judge Hesslink. We'll get started with the criminal docket this morning. First case is the State of Michigan versus Dawn Crow. That's file 23-42445-SM. We have Ms. Crow with us. Yes, I do see her there. Ms. Crow, this is a probation violation hearing. Looks like we adjourned things for 3 months back in July. The allegation is that you are non-compliant with your probation and that you failed to complete the retail fraud class, work camp days, report for the month of July, pay your fines and costs, and test as required. Tell me how you've done the last 3 months.
So, I have gotten a job since then. I work at the Rose City McDonald's. There was a problem with my paychecks where there's something taking $300 out of my paychecks every month. So my checks were only being 100 to 200 every time I get them.
She's coming in hot off the rip. She's like, so I think you'll find that it's like, okay, how is that the judge's fault exactly?
I haven't been able to pay on my class, which I should be able to within my next paycheck. With the community service that you guys gave me, the reason that that is not done is because the guy's name is Jared. I was going through the Art Federation. His house burnt down and he hasn't been back. It's been 3 weeks. He's due back next week.
I'm so confused. She just came in that hot. I think we need to cool it down here now, small. But what exactly is she talking about? Can anybody tell me? It's okay. So she was meant to do classes. She was meant to do testing and a whole heap of other stuff, pay fines, etc., etc. And it appears that she does none. Methinks we're probably going to get a pretty epic excuse for every single one of these issues. But coming in was like, the guy's name's Jared, and see his cat, right? His cat got sick, and because his cat was sick, he couldn't do whatever. That means I couldn't do. Like, come on, man. Just, I don't know. It's so confusing already.
I can get the 3 days done immediately. I'm supposed to have my son for Halloween. I've been trying to do better. We have had property taxes, which we're behind on, and our electricity got shut off. We had to pay that. I understand I've had a while to get this done, but if given another 3 months, Your Honor, I can honestly be off of probation by next month with all of my fines paid.
So why would you need 3 months?
I'm in a better situation now. I'm currently with somebody that is willing to help me get my life in order.
In other words, I've got a dude here that's willing to pay my way for me, but it just hasn't happened yet.
He's willing to help hold on to my money so then I can make sure everything's paid and make sure everything's done.
But you haven't.
My vehicle broke down, so we've been down to one vehicle. It rusted out on the sidewall, and then my muffler is just hanging there, slapping on the bottom of my truck. So we're down to one vehicle now. But honestly, Your Honor, I can be offered probation by next month.
That's a cluster fluff there now, in fairness. Like, okay, trust me, as you all know, anybody who's ever watched my channel will know, I have very, very constant issues with vehicles, right? Like it's just nonstop, right? It's a running joke at this point. Any vehicle I get my hands on breaks, right? So I get it, it sucks. But you still have another one. And what's that got to do with anything? Like, yeah, you got to get your muffler fixed. Sorry, we don't call it that here. But yeah, it's like, and then there was a tree that fell down in the neighborhood, so the kids couldn't go to school, which cost me extra and lunch money, or it's just
The hours are there at work.
But you're not there. That's the problem.
Did you do your retail fraud class?
No, Your Honor. I can get that done and my next paycheck in 2 weeks.
Oh, shit,
I just haven't had the money. My last paycheck was only 17 hours because I was in the hospital. I have been in and out of the hospital with my kidneys and with having pneumonia. I'm currently not allowed back at work until I can get discharged from the hospital because I had walking pneumonia. I'm at home, but I have to get cleared, asymptomatic, if that makes sense. I can't have any coughs or throwing up or anything for a week before I can go back to work because I work in fast food.
I'm going to call bullshit on that one. Now, obviously, I don't know how it works in the States, right? And maybe it's different. Like over here, if you have like a stomach bug or COVID or one of those things, yeah, you're not allowed to go to work pretty much. Like people probably still do. You're not supposed to. You're not allowed to. But pneumonia and kidney issues, like I don't know that. I mean, maybe they don't want you going to work because they don't want you getting more sick at work and getting injured or something. But because it's fast food would imply that it's, something that's contagious. which pneumonia in and of itself isn't. The things that can cause pneumonia can be certainly contagious. You know, in a lot of cases it is, but like I had pneumonia after breaking the ribs. I'm quite sick right now because of some issues with my leg, but it's not contagious. I'm working in fast food wouldn't stop me from being able to operate on it, you know, as in to work like, you know, using my leg. So I don't know. That's a weird one. That sounds a bit bullshitty to me.
So what you're telling me is you haven't finished anything, right?
Your Honor. No, Your Honor. I just now have been able to get tested down here. The hospital said that they would start testing me if there's something from the probation officer, because they asked me the last time I was at the hospital. I asked them at the last time I was at the hospital to drug test me, and they will. I could not find anywhere to drug test me down here. I moved it all the way to Lupton. I no longer live in Gaylord. I live in Rose City, West Branch area.
Sorry. All right, the juvenile in me here. Did she just say she lives in Gaylord? Is that real? Is that a thing? She lives in Gaylord. The juvenile in me cannot help but find that hilarious. One of my friends managed to take me out for McDonald's last night. Did not go well. I was too sick. I shouldn't have went. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It was worth every second because my order number, you guessed it, was 69. Thank you very much. I've waited my whole life for this moment. And yeah, then I nearly got sick and had to leave. But that's neither here nor there. I hit the 69. I felt like I won the lottery. Anyway, I'm going to go grab my coffee while this one keeps talking absolute shite.
I know that there are testing places in the Rose City, West Branch area.
I did not know that. Honestly. I have been looking
they have a district court and a sheriff's department in West Branch. You can go there and figure out how to
I went to the probation office there. They told me unless they had something from my probation officer, they could not test me. I went to the courthouse. I went to the jail. They have called Natasha. And I have called Natasha numerous times about this. And I honestly have an appointment next week to get everything started for disability.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Hill, what are your recommendations?
Your Honor, I'm recommending that she serve 10 days jail and be unsuccessfully discharged with fines and cuffs preserved.
All right, Ms. Crow, you've been on probation for a year.
Coffee went down the wrong way.
It's just if I go to jail, I will lose my child. I am working really hard to get him back. That is my whole world. I'm supposed to go get him tomorrow for Halloween.
That's tough.
I moved out of a domestic situation. I'm going to counseling. I'm trying to get on the right medications. I'm trying to work and get on disability so I can do what I need to do. I really am trying, Your Honor. And if given one last chance, I really can be off of probation next month. I have all of the means to do it.
We brought the original probation violation against you in April of this year. And then in July, so you knew from back in April that you should have been doing this stuff. Then we gave you an additional 3 months in July, and I told you that you must do all of the probation requirements. And I even said that you could do community service work instead of some of the work camp. But I emphasize that you had to have everything done in 3 months.
See, like, this is what gets me about some of these people, right? Okay, maybe you don't have the money to pay your fines, right? And then you're given an out, which is that you have to go pick up trash on the road, I guess, or I'm not really sure what community service actually is, only know from movies or whatever. But like, that's the problem with most of these individuals is that they don't want to work, you know? Like, I've been crippled since my motorcycle crash, and then I got re-sick a couple of weeks ago. I got really, really sick because of it, and I couldn't wait to get back to work. You know what I mean? Like, these guys, like, if there was work on the bed, she'd sleep on the floor. Put it that way. You know what I mean? And that's the problem with a lot of these people. Like, you could just go do the community service. You can do your, whatever you can do. But to do absolutely nothing, I feel bad for her, don't get me wrong. I genuinely do. The thought that, she could risk losing her child. But frankly, she's got nobody to blame but herself. And I really use that lightly because I don't like that necessarily. But she has nobody to blame but herself at this point, So I don't know, man.
And here we are 3 months later, and you've got absolutely nothing done.
I
How
would
am I
have had the
supposed to,
community service.
man, whoa.
There's no would have
Hey,
about it.
you talking faster and talking over me doesn't change what I'm gonna say. You haven't done a thing. So how am I supposed to give you a break when you've done absolutely nothing?
Yep.
Because, Your Honor, if you don't remember correctly, my ex-husband just got pled guilty for beating the crap out of me. He is absconding from the police. I got word that he was looking for me and that he would be turning himself in today from his mom. I came down here to try to better my life. I'm sorry I haven't got anything done. There's not very much to do community service down here. There's no goodwill or anything. I have been trying to get it done. But I finally found a place I can get it done. The only reason why it hasn't been is because his house caught on fire.
Is he the only guy?
I will make sure I get it done. I don't want to lose my son.
But she knew this 3 months
I'm
ago.
sorry,
I'm
man.
trying to do a better life.
I don't know, man. It's a rough one. It is genuinely a rough one, She's
I'm
an
supposed to
arsehole.
pick him up for Halloween tomorrow.
She's an arsehole for not doing what she was meant to
I go
do.
to jail. His dad will take him from me. His lawyer is in the courtroom right now.
I'm guessing the ex-husband isn't the dad of the baby.
That boy is my whole life. I left domestic situation after domestic situation to get better for him.
Maybe that was part of the problem.
When did you go to where you're at now, ma'am?
I've only been here 4 months and I had to leave when the stuff happened with Brandon. I was stuck up in Gaylord.
So you've been
So
there
I've
since
only been
June.
here for a few months.
So you've been there since June, right?
And since then, we are $1,200 behind in property taxes. We have propane that is due, that has $600. Our lights just got shut off. That was another $600. And then my truck just broke down. I can send pay stubs. I can send hospital documentation that I've been in and out of the hospital. I can send all the information and documentation that you need, Your Honor.
I don't need any documentation. The only documentation I need is, did you complete your community service? Did you do your retail fraud class? Did you report as required? Did you pay your fines and costs? And did you test as required? And all of those things are a resounding no.
So that raises a very good point, right? Now, sorry, that coffee went down the wrong hole and it's still bothering me here. But it all raises a very fair point, okay? Now, fair enough, you can feel bad for this lady. And in some respects, I do, okay? And, she's habitualized in the way she acts and things and whatever else, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, fact of the matter is, I don't have any kids. If I did, though, I would move heaven and earth to make sure that I didn't risk going to jail and not have my kid anymore. Simple. That's the end of it. That there's no more to say than that, okay? I know it's not as easy as just planting a money tree in the garden. I get that too. But you do what you got to do. And if you're worried about losing your child because you're going to go to jail, you will move mountains. I'm sure any parent watching right now is thinking to themselves, I would literally move mountains to make sure that I was there for my child. So I'm sorry, the sympathy runs out at that point. I get it. If you're genuinely very sick, right? Pneumonia, but you're able to scream and shout on here, fine. Go clean windows. Go cut lawns. Go do anything. Wash cars. Fucking tap dance on the street for a few bucks. Whatever you need to do. I know if it was me, I would do whatever I needed to do to make sure that I was able to look after my kid. I remember growing up when I was a little boy, right? When I was only a baby, a little toddler. times were tough in Ireland in the early 90s. My mum and dad worked their fingers to the bone, and it still wasn't quite enough. And what did they do? They stayed up all night making apple tarts or apple pies in the States to make sure that we had everything we needed. Not only did they work their fingers to the bone every day, they worked their fingers to the bone every night as well. And they made sure that we never went without. And there's 4 of us. So, you know, we were probably pricey enough to look after. But this lady, right, I get it. Bit of illness here and there, a bit of whatever issues. Fine. Go wash windows. Somebody will give you $5 to wash their windows. It might not be minimum wage. It might not be the disability allowance you're looking for, but you do what you got to do to make sure you're there for your kids. God knows if it was me and that was my kid, somebody could pay me $10 to pick out all of the red M&Ms, whatever. Doesn't matter. You do what you got to do. So the sympathy does kind of run a bit thin there.
What you're telling me is the same thing that everybody has in their life: bills and difficulties. That's nothing new.
Yeah, we all have that.
You're gonna do 10 days in jail, you're gonna be unsuccessful. Ma'am, you talking faster and talking over me doesn't help anything.
I'm autistic.
You're gonna do 10 days in jail.
Hold on.
And you're gonna be unsuccessful.
Hold on.
Discharged from probation.
Back up the truck here now, right? I'm just going to fucking... Right. If you're autistic, fine. That is no excuse. At all. At all. For any of this shit. You were not too autistic to make a child. You weren't too autistic to do crimes and get in this situation in the first place. So don't use your autism now. That's bullshit. Anybody who's watching right now who has autism is probably saying the exact same thing. This is bullshit. Don't use it as an excuse. For a lot of people, it's a superpower. So don't give me that shit. The richest man in the world is autistic. So you tell me that's some excuse. Nah, fuck that. If you're autistic enough to make babies, to get in trouble and almost lose those babies, or probably will lose those babies because you get locked up, then you can't use your autism as an excuse for you not doing what you were meant to do. That's bullshit. Sorry. Absolute bollocks. Let me know if you agree.
Talking faster and talking over me doesn't help anything.
I'm autistic.
You're gonna do 10 days in jail, and you're gonna be unsuccessful. Discharged from probation with your fines and costs preserved.
Can I at least turn myself in Monday so I can go get my son?
How about new?
How is that gonna change anything?
So I can have my son for the weekend. I don't have him again for another 2 weeks. After that, I could be out of jail by the time I go pick him up again.
What time
At
do
least
you want to
then I
pick
can
him up?
keep my child.
If you will listen to me, you'll hear that I'm asking you a question about what time that you want to appear. So stop talking.
Fair play
and
to the
listen,
judge.
please.
I'm not sure. At least at 6 p.m. on Monday. I was gonna ask if I could turn myself in the jail down here because it's an hour and a half away from there. It's almost 2 hours away.
Ma'am, that's going to cost you extra.
Excuse me.
How is that going to cost? Like, can I just do my time down here?
I don't control that jail. I don't have the ability to send you to that jail.
Well, I was just asking because Brandon's going to be in the same jail.
Be in a different part,
You
though.
want to set up something to be down there, but I'm sure it's going to cost you extra to do that because they don't have to accept you down there.
But like if her ex is in the same jail, they're not going to be in the same cells or like the same wing at all. Like I've worked in them. I know how that fucking works. Like
there.
It's just,
The jail here has to accept you.
I don't want to be in the same jail with the guy that beat the crap out of me. I'm sorry. That'll cause more trauma.
I can kind of understand where she's coming from, but like
I moved down here to get away from him because I'm terrified. That's why I asked for another 3 months so I could get off of probation. He scares the hell out of me.
yeah, but he's in jail though.
And now you're gonna have me in the same jail as him?
It's not like you're going to be bunked up.
Where I can hear him scream and yell.
Ah, come on, man.
Just like he did when he beat the hell out of me.
Look,
ma'am, if you want to set up something to go.
I'm sorry. I'm sure she has a lot of trauma, right? I have no doubt. And for that, I have boundless sympathy, genuinely boundless sympathy for any lady who's gone through, or gentleman who's gone through that kind of situation. I have absolutely nothing but sympathy. but that all seems a little bit performative to me, which I'm not surprised by based on everything else she said. And I'm sorry, but you get to this point and it's like you're shit out of luck. Sorry, you're shit out of luck. You just can't keep demanding things like this. It's just not how it works. Like,
You go to the West Branch jail, then set it up. But you'll report on 11/3 at 6 p.m. unless you set up 10 days in jail in West Branch.
Yes, sir.
wait, you can choose what jail you're going
You
to. What
fail
the?
to appear, we'll do a warrant for your arrest and you'll be picked up as soon as the police find you, wherever they find you at. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
That's all for today.
Well, first of all, I want a massive thank you to OSG for these videos. OSG is always on the ball with these. Absolutely just awesome. So make sure and check out OSG. I'll leave a link in the comments and stuff down below. Guys, look, I feel sorry for a lot of these people, and I have a lot of experience dealing with people like her in real life and in my work and my experience and stuff like that. So, you know, I probably have a slightly softer view on some of these individuals than others may have. But there's a limit to that. Like, I get it. She definitely has a lot of trauma over the stuff with her ex. You know, maybe she finds it hard to order her life in such a way that she can get things done. I'm the same, especially now with the injuries and I am quite sick at the moment. I'm getting better. I'm doing fine, but like, it can be hard. It can be hard to keep up with things and get things kind of moving. But like, there's no excuse for this. She's at risk of losing her child because of her own actions or her own inaction. And I'm sorry, but just blaming autism and pneumonia doesn't cut the mustard. What did people do for millennia before, autism and mustard? Oh, no, wait, hold on. Autism and pneumonia could be used as an issue in court. They just got on with life. They just got on. Like me. Guys, my leg is fucked, right? Frankly. Cards on the table, leg is fucked. Got really sick because of basically a piece of my motorcycle went in through my leg, right? No big deal. Well, it is actually, because I got really, really, really sick because of it. And I'm doing great now. I'm doing fine. I had to get a few bits done and a little bit more to come, but I'm fine. And I'm able to stand here right now and look at you. But if I try to walk over there, I'll limping like a guy who shit himself. Like, don't get me wrong. But you just get up and you get going. You do what you got to do, especially when there's a kid in the balance. Ah, fuck. Anyway, lads and lassies, thank you for joining me. It's good to be back. And I endeavor to put out as much stuff as I can over the next few days. I've got a lot to catch up with. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I'm going to go lie down now for a little while because I do feel a little bit unwell. But thank you so much for joining me. Sancho, and we'll catch you soon. Hey guys, the Irish Demon here, back with another video. We have a pretty hilarious restraining order from Thurston County. It's my favorite day of the week because these restraining orders are always really, really juicy. Now, for whatever reason, the judge is not on screen, nor is the respondent in this. The two people you see on screen, they're husband and wife, and they're having serious problems with this mad Karen neighbor. There is a lot of cuss words in this one, so if you don't like those, probably just be prepared to mute at some point, although I think most of you are here for the same reason that I am. So let's get going.
Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down. And how is it, we call the petition up here. How is it you need an order against Ms. Hauser?
Ms. Hauser is my next door neighbor, and she has been increasing in severity and frequency in her aggression towards me, my 13-year-old daughter, and my husband, Michael Cook.
How so?
Well, most recently on Saturday, 10/25, Sharon woke up my family at 4:15 in the morning, screaming obscenities, calling me a fat fucking whore and a dumb bitch. She threatened to kill me. She frequently wakes me up and pulls her truck out of her driveway.
I didn't expect there to be so much profanity so early in this one. Yeah, that's her husband down there, the kind of clean looking member, ZZ Top.
Blares her music. She follows my husband while he's taking my daughter to school. She's gotten out of her car in the middle of the highway and slammed her hands on the passenger side where my 13-year-old daughter was. I think she was 12 at the time when that happened. and called her a little fucking bitch and said that she's going to kill our family. She's pulled a knife as recent as April 11th, 2025 on my husband. She will like shove recycling bins into my husband. She frequently tells me and screams at me that she's going to kill us, slice us up in the middle of the night, calling me a fat ass bitch, threatening to kill me. I'm a goddamn fucking whore.
Jesus.
She throws her cigarettes over on our property into our driveway. She
Free
throws her
cigarettes, though.
dog's feces onto our cars and puts it underneath our handles of our
Ooh, that's a dirty one. That is a dirty one. But at least she's throwing free cigarettes at you. That doesn't happen every day. They're expensive.
cars. She has egged our house and our walkway into our home. She is unstable, and I'm fearful of what might happen next.
How long have you lived there?
So basically, what she's saying is that her old ass Karen neighbor is a unruly 14-year-old boy with ADHD. It seems.
Most recently, I moved back in 2021, and this has been an ongoing thing. But like I said, it's increasing in severity and frequency.
This way, or is it?
I'm sorry.
Exactly?
Can you repeat that?
Is it? Because a lot of times you see these neighbor situations, next door neighbors. You hear things like, "Oh, we started out as friends, and then something happened." And then things go off the rails.
Just
I mean, is it
from the get-go?
is that what's this? I'm just trying to get a little background as to how this got to the point where you're in court asking for a protection order. That's why, I mean, is it you don't need to repeat what you've told me. I'm wondering if there was like a certain event that led to all this, or whether this is just kind of how it's.
Fucking. Okay, so this keeps happening with my OBS, right? So anybody who's watching who knows anything about OBS, it keeps doing this thing where it randomly freezes. So you guys can hear what's going on in the background, but you can't see anything. So just give me a second. You should still be able to hear me. I might just need to reset this like little piece here. It's such a pain in the ass. I'm hoping it works now. Seems like if I just turn that off and back on again.
Come to me and apologize when I moved out the first time.
It's working now.
She's very territorial. She thinks that she owns the street in front of her house. I think it was May of last year. My husband came home from a fishing trip from Canada at 3 o'clock in the morning, and he knew that we would all have to leave in the morning. We have a full house. We have a big family. And so he parked on the street, which is owned by the city or the county, in front of our home. And she lives alone, and she told me to tell him not to park there anymore. And I just said, no, Sharon, I'm not going to do that. And then she started to call me a cunt and a whore, and she's not the one sucking his dick and all this other stuff.
Okay. All right.
Lucky him.
I get the picture. I just asked if there was a triggering event, and it doesn't seem to. Let me hear from Mr. Cook.
It's kind of ironic though that her name is Sharon, like literally rhymes with Karen.
Then I'll hear from Ms. Hauser. Mr. Cook, could you raise your right hand, please?
Well-dressed man.
And do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down.
Thank you.
Did it freeze again? Oh no, he
Go
froze.
ahead. I'll hear from you. How is it you need an order against Ms. Hauser?
Sir, I guess it's just the level of the escalation. I mean, it went from like verbally assaulting myself, my daughter, and my wife, to the fact that it's gone to the point where she's like pulled weapons on us now. I guess my greatest concern is that she's being aggressive towards our 13-year-old daughter. So I'm concerned because as parents that work full time, we can't be there all the time. Our daughter does.
No, we lost him.
He gone.
Uh-oh.
So we'll wait.
Bring
come back.
Yeah.
We'll just wait. Are you happen to be in the same house with him, ma'am, at the moment?
No, Your Honor, we work different shifts.
Okay, maybe you could. Are you on your phone or computer?
I could try to call him and see if.
How about no?
The air concerned with the fact.
Okay, he's back just on voice.
Sorry, the area I'm in, I'm just seeing patients in semi-rural area. So Sharon will drive by our daughter. She will swear at her. She will finger her. I'm concerned with the fact that she's
Oh,
already
whoa,
pulled
whoa,
a
whoa,
weapon
whoa,
on.
whoa, whoa. I'm hoping that that term means something totally different over there. I assume he means middle finger, not just the word finger. That would be really incredibly fucked up. So yeah, I hope that's what that means.
Semi-rural area. So Sharon will drive by our daughter. She will swear at her. She will finger her. I'm concerned with the fact that she's already
Bad
pulled a weapon
phrasing,
on
man.
me. I'm concerned that she's going to escalate her aggression towards our daughter. We have called the police numerous times, and they said that the correct path is to go through the legal process and put the legal protections in order so that they can respond accordingly. I want to make sure that we have everything in place so that if the attacks or the aggressions increase in severity, that we can call 911 and get an immediate response so that we don't get shot, stabbed, or any harm towards myself or my family, sir. I just want to make sure we have everything in place to protect our family.
So I'm going to swear in Ms. Hauser, and then I'm going to hear from her.
This will be good.
Could you raise your right hand, please?
Try raise your right hand without fingering somebody now,
You
Miss
swear to
Hauser.
affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You can sit down. So I'll hear from you. What's your position on what we just heard from Mr. Cook and Ms. Fernandez?
Gratefully, sir. First, I'd like to apologize to the court and to yourself for having to hear the language. I'd like to just briefly state that Ms.
And
Fernandez.
it's not, you shouldn't apologize to me for hearing the language. They're the ones hearing the language.
Yes, sir.
You know, I
They're the ones saying the language anyway.
That's what they say. So I would have you respond to that.
Yes, sir. And like I said, I'd like to, apologize to Ms. Fernandez for the language that I'm using. I am trying to defend myself, Your Honor, the very best way that I can against Ms. Fernandez's male husband.
Male husband.
I have lived in this neighborhood next to Ms. Fernandez for
I was going to say as opposed to what, but modern world and all
19 years, sir, with no problems. I have, we've had our point to where throughout this time, most of the incidents, sir, that Ms. Fernandez's husband has done these things, Ms. Fernandez has not even been home, sir.
What things?
Okay. Ms. Fernandez brought up the point about the vehicle parking out in front of the home. I have complained on a number of occasions when I started standing up for myself against Ms. Fernandez's husband, especially about parking in front of my house.
I thought it was family member,
question,
no?
Sir, he should answer truthfully that he blocks the shared entrance of our driveway with his recycle cans, with his garbage and recycle cans, to impede my entrance of being able to get in daily, weekly, sir. I have to deal with this. Also, he has a loud muffler on his car like the kids have. 0600 this morning, sir.
0600.
It's a daily thing, but 0600 this morning. Vehicle started up, drove just the length of the driveway, stopped right underneath my window, sir. Rev, and then turned off. Everything, sir, now to where the stolen fences. There was a nefarious report made, sir, on October 31st. I was on duty out on post, sir. I wasn't even home. When I got off duty, sir, and got home.
Oh my God. When she says off duty, I have to know on duty or off duty doing what exactly?
My contractor fence is gone. The first original fence, sir. There's a privacy fence. I brought this with me today. There's a covenant that needs to be refilled. For 19 years, sir, I have been putting money into the shared fence. Ms. Fernandez and her family has not helped one bit. So what I did over the summer, because, sir, the wood fit with the renters, with Summer, with Heather, with Shelley, with Ms. Fernandez when she lived there the first time, with Ms. Fernandez when she lived there the last time. The fence pieces, parts, partials, boards have blown down, and I'm the only one, sir, that has been putting money into it. When the fence blown down this last time, Ms. Fernandez is now in the home. The fence blows down, has two panels leaning on their side. I know now, after being terrorized by Ms. Fernandez's husband all summer.
Ungodly minutes. Oh my God, it's frozen again. I seriously need to look into what's going on here because it is driving me insane. Bear with me here, guys. I'm sorry. It's just some thumbnail screenshots there for you weirdos to zoom in on. Let's see.
And I put up on my
Okay.
side of the property a nice chain link privacy fence. The other half of this fence, sir, the
Hang on.
requirements from the city requires a silt screen because of the trade wars and things like that are happening. That silt screen has been bought and paid for. I'm waiting for it to be
Trade wars.
installed. When the panels blew over, now, sir, it's in the fall. The wind is starting to blow. Those panels are falling over. Miss Fernandez's male partner, her husband, sir, cut that fence down and removed it and brought it to his home. He doesn't even.
How many more synonyms is she going to use for husband? So we've had male partner, we've had family member and husband thus far. Specifically male husband, which is an interesting one to me. But then again, as I say, modern day, like you know, could be a shim. I'm not sure. I don't know. What other synonyms? All right, let's come up with some stuff here in the comment section. What other synonyms can you use to describe husband in the weirdest, most Karen way? Let's see them.
Even live here, sir. Where's my fence? So I had to call the contractor. I have on video, sir, where he took his lawnmower. And now my $5,000 fence, I'm trying to protect myself against any more terrorizing from this man.
So hang on a second.
Lastly,
Wait,
sir,
just stop. So I've heard you say a bunch of things about, apparently you have some issues with Mr. Cook.
Yeah, her male marital partner.
That doesn't explain all the name calling, horrible name calling that Ms. Fernandez is hearing.
Yes, sir. And I'd like to address that right now very quickly, sir. I'd like to, and have on a number of occasions, apologize to Ms. Fernandez. She knows that.
But even
Ms.
the
Fernandez,
fact,
I want to believe in her heart knows.
hold on a second, like yeah, okay, fine, you've apologized, but the fact that you had to apologize on multiple occasions and are still doing it means the apology doesn't mean shit.
Apologize to Ms. Fernandez. She knows that. Ms. Fernandez, I want to believe in her heart knows that I want peace. I've been there with her youngest child. I've been there with her oldest child. Ms. Fernandez, sir, and her family, they're nice people. They're nice people, and I'd like to apologize again. Sir, I have no other tool to defend myself against the everyday onslaught. Why? The only thing, sir, that I could say is when Miss Fernandez went back to the neighborhood, she came in honesty, girl to girl and heart to heart. These things, sir, I said to Miss Fernandez, it's being hurt as a girl from the heart, lashing out. When Miss Fernandez came back to the neighborhood, she brought a basket with her, sir, a check for $250 and some food. She sat down with me, sir, in my living room when we talked. She told me when I first moved into the neighborhood 19 years ago, she was jealous of me. I don't know why. I'm an older woman, but jealous of my lifestyle, jealous of me. And I told her, you have no reason. You had no reason, and you still don't. The check, sir, for the fence. She offered me a $250 fence in apology for me only being the one to maintain the shared responsibility under the covenantal responsibility through the city for our neighborhood. I did not accept the check, but I told her I needed the food and I accepted the food. The problems we're having, sir, and believe me, I will not and will not from my heart speak and hurt Miss Fernandez's feelings by the words that I've been using. But I have to ask Your Honor for this court's mutual protection also in this matter, because just like at 06:30 this morning, sir, and just like yesterday afternoon when I was doing my lawn, Mrs. Fernandez family member, sir, will stay.
She fucking did it again. Hold on, it's after shifting by a half an hour now. It was 0600 earlier, now it's 0630. He must have been revving the tits out of that car for a long time.
Stand there and follow me down the fence line. Predatory. It's predatory. I'm asking the court for grace. Miss Fernandez, I'm asking for mercy, sir. But I need protection, sir, also. And I'm asking that today. The things that I have are set before me. It's all I have. My life, financial statements, tax records, my job as IMCOM at Post, the police report, sir.
As a what? What's her job?
It's all I have. Tax records, my job as IMCOM at Post, the police report, sir. It's all
Can
I
somebody
have.
fill me in on what that is if anyone knows?
It's all I have, and I need your heart help. And of course, I do not want to hurt Miss Fernandez in her home, her rental home. But I'm telling you, sir, Miss Fernandez and I have the same problem. We have the same problem, sir. Okay? That's why the sill screen, it's bought and paid for. The contractor came back out, sir, and put a 3-foot, 100-foot roll, plastic contractor fence down that fence line, sir, to protect it until the sill screen comes. It's like I've been talking with the PD, letting them know when the house was painted through the summer, when Joey roofed the shed. Every time I have done something to my home, I've had to suffer for weeks of retaliation from Miss Fernandez's family member. The thing is, sir, that contractor's fence, sir, on
Surprised she
October
didn't call him
31st,
baby daddy yet.
in my heart, absolutely believe that a nefarious phone call was made, reported right here on this paperwork from the Yale PD, to have maybe have me arrested, so I would be in jail over the weekend and not be able to see a judge until Monday morning. So none of this could be investigated. The fence was removed. The fence is gone. The contractor fence has been stolen, removed, nowhere to be found, sir.
Someone
Mr.
stole this
Nichols,
lady's
the one that
fence.
has been, Officer Nichols, the one that's been coming out to the calls, sir. I pointed over at the CV camera at the schoolyard that we live across. I let him know that I've petitioned public records. It's right here in this report, sir, for that camera between 1,500 hours, sir, until 2,000 hours to see if anything could be seen on their camera, because it faces our home, sir. It captures everything in our neighborhood. If that fencing, that contractor's fencing, sir, can be seen being stolen and removed, and exactly what happened to it and who did it. Right now, the fence is still.
Hang on, I'm gonna have you stop. We just lost Mr. Cook again. Could you have him come back on, please? I don't want you to say anything until he's back on the Zoom call.
What's the betting she tries to say something before he's back? And my money's on it. Come on, Karen, Sharon, say something. Anything. Nothing. Is it frozen again, or is she just not moving?
We'll do that after.
Yeah.
Ah, she said something before he came back. Nice one. What's going on here? Come on, man.
Mr.
Yeah, it says he's joining it.
Come on, ZZ Top.
So in place.
There was.
Is that for today? Yeah.
Stop sign. Full locations. I'm out seeing patients in the community, and I don't know why
Okay.
I have 4 bars of service, so I'm sorry.
Stop right there. Don't move from right there.
No, I'm at a stop sign.
Well, no, you need to be not driving.
Yes,
So I
sir.
want you pulled over and parked.
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay,
Wait,
great.
No, you're not.
But I feel better about that if you were eyes on me and not looking around.
Yes, sir.
I am stopped, he says, while
may
the world
continue,
is
ma'am.
literally
I
fucking
just wanted
moving
to
by
finish very briefly, sir, with the finishing of that
He's
investigation
clearly
of the
driving.
fence. I absolutely, in my heart, believe, sir, that the only reason I'm here, Ms. Fernandez, is having to address this issue with my foul mouth, and I again apologize to her sincerely, sir, is to cover up the investigation, sir, and the theft of these 2 fences. The first wood fence, finishing very briefly, sir. The first fence has been a shared responsibility that Ms. Fernandez.
Hold on. So all it is some kind of a crazy conspiracy to cover up the great fence theft of 2022 or whatever it was. Like, come on, man. Oh, fuck me. It froze again. Ah. Okay, this is doing my fucking hoop in here, man. 2 minutes now, guys. I'll have to do this thing where I switch it over and switch it back. So basically, if you didn't hear it, she's trying to claim that the reason they're bringing this order against her is because they're trying to cover up the great fence theft that allegedly took place that may or may not have absolutely anything to do with these people.
Stop sign.
Well, no, that if you were eyes, may continue, ma'am.
I just wanted to finish very briefly, sir, with the finishing of that
I don't think she can
investigation.
do
of the
anything
fence.
briefly.
I absolutely, in my heart, believe, sir, that the only reason I'm here, Miss Fernandez, is having to address this issue with my foul mouth, and I again apologize to her sincerely, sir, is that it's to cover up the investigation, sir, and the theft of these 2 fences. The first wood fence, finishing very briefly, sir. The first fence has been a shared responsibility that Miss Fernandez is the homeowner, and that is why, unfortunately, my things have been kind of addressed towards Miss Fernandez because Miss Fernandez's family member does not live there. That is her home. So, very briefly, sir, that
So
wooden
weird.
fence, like I told the young PD when they stood outside there, there's nothing I can do about that, sir. It's gone. Maybe on the Miss Fernandez's family's property. I don't know. But as far as the one that I have, I need to protect it. That's why that contractor's fence was there. It is gone, sir. Gone. There's no way for me to protect it. I have also with me the letter from the insurance company way previous to this.
This has nothing to do with the
when
order.
The wood fence went missing because I knew from the behavior all summer long from Miss Fernandez's family members, sir, that I was going to suffer greatly at his hands, and I have. And that insurance, the letter from my insurance agent, sir, states very simply my concern over my fence and what I need to do to protect it, and that's what I was trying to do. But now, sir, without that contractor fence, they're waiting, and I believe it's the only reason why I'm here. The investigation of the theft of that fence, that contractor wants his fence back, sir. I had to pay to have that installed to protect. Waiting for the second half to fulfill the covenantal responsibility on my half, sir. Whether Ms. Fernandez wants to remain, the lights, sir, let me just briefly end this for me. As far as the daughter is concerned, the 2 times stated, daughter's only has only been involved 3 times. I've made a point of it.
I have to tell you though, ma'am, I'm going to stop you there. That's
Thank
3
God.
times too many.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Go ahead. You can continue.
No problem, sir. With the daughter, I've worked in education. I believe this is an attempt to keep me out of my profession. Lastly, sir, as far as the lights, the only reason Miss
Hold on.
Fernandez may be saying now anything
Hold
about
on a
her-
second. So she's saying that she believes that part of it is to keep her out of her profession because she didn't do nothing except for the 3 times that she assaulted these people's 13-year-old daughter. This one's naughtier than squirrel shit, man.
About their lights, the way our homes are, sir. They're very close, just that far away with a stone. My lights now, sir.
That
When
far
I
away,
pull out my
stone's
garage
throw.
to go on duty, sir,
A
yes,
lump of
they
dog
may
shit's
come
throw.
out as I'm pulling out of my driveway, sir. The privacy fence that is required in neighborhoods like ours to prevent problems, to prevent things like this. The family member removed, sir, and Miss Fernandez, as the homeowner of that property and is responsible. Miss Fernandez's family member has put a sign up on my fence, sir. I'd like that sign removed today, sir. It's my property. It is what I'm responsible for in my neighborhood. And if you look on the video, you'll see how beautiful mine is. He has again encroached. Miss Fernandez's family member has encroached again, forcing his will, just like with that sign that he has placed there, sir. Miss Fernandez and I, like I said, sir, has not had these problems. And again, I apologize for the language. The only tool I have to protect myself. And again, I'm going to ask the court here today.
What's the only tool you have?
The only tool, sir, that I've been using is a foul mouth, which I apologize again for, sir.
There was reference about a weapon.
Yes, sir. On that particular day, sir, that was another instance with the garbage cans. I was making my lunch. I was getting ready to go on duty. That knife that was said was spreading like you would relish.
Why relish? I'm sorry, no. Oh, sorry. No, I don't know why that was so funny. I was waiting because we were all waiting with bated breath there to see what she was going to spread, right? Just the kind of knife that you'd use to spread. And you're all thinking the same thing as me, right? Is it going to be mayonnaise or is it going to be butter, right? Fucking relish. Why did she choose relish? Sorry, I don't know. That just, to me, that was just really weird. So her defense mechanism is her foul mouth, right? Okay. What about yeeting shit at somebody's car? Like actual dog shit at someone's car, putting it under the handles of their car. I mean, yeah, this lady is just fucking insane. But
I was detained and arrested that day, sir, and brought to jail, detained for 4 days.
Of course you were detained.
There was no charges. I've never went in front of a judge. I still don't know, sir. I am.
I'm sorry, this bitch is crazy. Like, okay, even if it was a butter and or relish knife, right? Like, I get it. What are you gonna do? Like, hold a butter knife to somebody and like, give me your wallet or I'll fucking spread you or whatever. Grand, but still, like, you're running out of your house with a knife. I don't know. This lady's fucking insane. Sorry, it froze again. It froze again. I'm going to get this fixed before long. I have to figure this out, but oh God. I hope to God you all heard the part about the butter and or relish knife that she was using to spread people, because if you didn't, that would be incredibly embarrassing for me just standing there talking about that. Did that switch? Yeah. All right. Let's see. Hopefully it works now again.
There was no charges. I've never went in front of a judge. I still don't know,
There we
sir.
go.
I am very new at anything, these kind of settings. I still don't know, sir, what happened. But regardless of that, sir, that is the incident that Miss Fernandez is speaking about with that knife, sir.
With the knife?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're saying there was no knife?
Well, as I'm yelling at Miss Fernandez's family member, sir, yes, I'm emotional and I have my.
So you are swinging a knife?
Well, yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, yes, I was
Yes,
swinging a
sir.
knife.
Okay. Do you have anything more to say?
Doesn't matter if it was a relish
sir.
knife.
Okay. So I'm going to hear from, I guess, Ms. Fernandez, just go in the same
Fucking
order.
insane.
Do you have any sort of response to what you just heard from Ms.
Yes.
Hauser?
Absolutely.
What's the bet? And the relish spreading knife was actually like a machete. Oh yeah, of course, sir, Your Honor. It was my relish spreading machete.
Absolutely, Your Honor. I believe there's some cognitive dissonance that's occurring here.
Definitely.
There's some
for
what now?
Cognitive
dissonance, as in
Okay.
the sequence of events that Ms. Hauser is referencing are not exactly what has happened.
No shit.
As far as me, yes, coming back to the neighborhood, we have had conversations. I did give her a $250 check. She did refuse that.
just
As
gonna
far as
pop
me
off
saying
screen
I'm
here for a
jealous of
second,
her,
I'll be
no,
right
I
back.
said I've always envied her yard because she is an absolute like perfect green thumb. Her yard is beautiful. I was a single mom at the time. And so I was actually complimenting her. But being jealous of her as a person and herself, no, Your Honor, that is not the truth. Also, when it comes to attacking my 13-year-old, that is why we're here. Once you start escalating, verbally threatening a 13-year-old or a 12-year-old, the degree that there is within that adult person to verbally assault and attack a child, that is beyond the line. I am in the know that Ms. Hauser has some severe mental health diagnoses. She has been involuntary like incarcerated as she was on April 11th for her mental health. This is in her previous job with the Bethel School District many years ago because she does have this mental health. You know, she has a long history of a childhood trauma, which I'm very sad for her, but I'm trying to prevent that from happening to my daughter. It's unexcusable. I'm going to protect my child at all cost. There is no moving of the garbage cans, Your Honor. We have like a large family. My daughter has neurodivergence. She has therapists that come here on a weekly, bi-weekly basis. We need to have parking for them. They often park in the street in front of our house and in front of Miss Hauser's house. Miss Hauser will block them in, park her car in front of theirs. I don't know if this is just like, again, her territorial thing about moving garbage cans, but there's one little concrete place in between our driveways where people can actually park their cars on the street. So we make sure to leave our recycle and our trash out there. We're very busy individuals. I'm a healthcare provider. I'm a nurse midwife in the community. I work 24-hour shifts. My husband's also in healthcare. As far as my husband's vehicle, his catalytic converter was actually stolen in Tacoma when he went to work. So yes, it is louder now, but it's cost $3,000 to repair. The car isn't even worth $3,000. So it's nothing that we're doing intentionally to Mrs. Hauser. However, I feel like the narrative that she's created in her mind feels as though we are doing this intentionally. We've always tried to keep the peace between us. I'm not sure if it's just because now I have, my husband who's a male in the home. My husband is a very kind, gentle person. He's not doing anything intentionally to harm or irritate Miss Hauser. Miss Hauser actually.
What's the deal on this fence?
Yeah, Miss
Yeah.
Hauser actually
Sure.
on, I think it was November, or
I can-
No,
go
I'm
ahead.
talking to her. If you want to answer the question, let's have the conversation with her. If you want to defer the fence to him, I'll hear from him, but go
Yeah,
ahead, Ms. Fernandez.
On September 30th, Miss Hauser, and Mike can bring this in his own narrative when he gets a chance to talk, but she actually was upset and arguing with Mike about the fence, and then later came to our home, knocked on the door, and was like, Mr. Michael, can we please talk? Can you please take down that fence? She had already erected a new fence. She did not ask us to pay for anything. She didn't have a conversation about it. All we know is now there's a new fence. Like, so then go back on your word. And when you've requested something, we comply. We try to keep the peace. We want to be neighborly. My husband's Canadian, for goodness sake. Like he neighborly and friendly is like the definition of him.
So that fence you referenced
Fair
that's up
enough.
now, that's like the black chain link fence, is that I see in some of the pictures?
Yes, and she put that up. She did not say anything to us
Alright.
about it. It was just erected one day and next to the wooden fence that was already there. And granted, yes, the wooden fence, one portion of it was falling over. My husband kind of propped it up because we're like, okay, that's something we need to deal with, right? So we're like, okay, and then next thing you know, she's got this new fence up and we're like, oh, okay. Like we still need to deal with that fence. But then she gets like stuck in her mind on these issues and goes over and over and over them and starts to scream and yell and curse at us. Like that fence is fucking coming down, Mike. And so then she goes off on him and then she comes over like within I don't even know, 10, 15 minutes to have a conversation rationally. So she swings so far from right to left.
All right. Let me hear from Mr. Cook. Mr. Cook, I'll hear from you.
Sure. So a perfect example of the fence is I was propping up the fence, the wooden one that was broken, and then she gets a ladder, goes to the top of her chain link fence, pushes over, the wood that I was using to secure it, and she's like, "Don't touch my effing fence." And then I was like, okay, so I made sure that we had our cameras on because, the police had advised us to always keep our cameras on. So from the time when she was yelling at me about the wooden fence, like my wife said, she came over 10 minutes later, politely knocked on the door, and she's like, Mr. Michael, can I please talk to you for a second? And I'm like, okay, this is one of the moments where Sharon is being rational. She's like, I have the new fence up now. The old fence is 19 years old. I know it's rotten. I know it needs to come down, but I can't afford to take care of it. And I said, Sharon, I would be happy to take care of that fence. I would be happy to take it down. I would be happy to dispose of all that. I will take care of all of that. And I will make sure that it looks nice. And I did that and I made sure to have this on video of her asking my permission, asking me politely to take down the fence. So I did exactly what she said. And then now she's coming after us about the fence that she politely asked me to take down after she was screaming and yelling at me. I mean, that's like a perfect example of the irrational. And mowing, the only time I walk up and down the fence, sir, is when I take the lawnmower and I mow. And then I take our leaf blower and I purposely blow it away from her property. I'm hyper careful not to irritate her. I blow everything away from her property with our leaf blower. I make sure to keep our yard nice. Like I try very hard to keep a very nice yard and not irritate Sharon. I mean, we lock our doors during the day. We keep our blinds closed. We do everything we can to limit interactions with her so we don't get attacked. And then have her come back 10 minutes later perfectly rational. I mean, like my wife said, she definitely has some divergence, and that is just an ongoing issue. And I don't know why she has an issue with me personally, maybe because it's male, maybe I don't know, sir, but she does not want me anywhere near Shanine or the house, or it's just unfortunate. And I do need to take care of my daughter, and I do need to go see patients, sir. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but I do have
I
patients
need you here for a few more minutes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Sure.
Don't leave just yet.
Yes.
And then, so Ms. Hauser, I'll give you the final word here.
Briefly on the.
There's no briefly, lady. Did it again.
Nowhere to be found. I came home, sir, with,
So Ms. Hauser, I'll give you the final word here.
briefly on the escalation of
You
that.
keep saying that. but-
Yes, sir,
okay.
briefly on the escalation of that fence. When I came home from work, sir, again, homeowner nowhere to be found. I came home, sir, with a ladder. The panels were pushed up and pinched up against my chain link fence. I stood on the back of my pickup truck and pushed the ladders away and told Ms. Fernandez, a family member, I don't think so. The next day when I came home, same thing. Pushed him away again. Mr. Cook is outside on the back of the porch hollering out my name. So I go out there. He was asking for permission to take down that fence, and I'm asking him to get the homeowner. No homeowner comes back out. I go back into the house. I do go over there, Your Honor, because all through the rest of the summer, especially with the child's book that I received from the library for him, went over there and asked him, what do you want done with this fence? I know that you're concerned about those two panels. So here again, Your Honor, I'm trying to bring peace. As far as never having the conversation with the original chain link fence, they've left out the fact that I did go over there before all of the summer drama started. Let them know that I was going to put up a chain link fence on my side though, and that the wood fence still needed to be remained to fulfill the covenant of our privacy, of our neighborhood. So the facts that they've given you, sir, they're not correct. That is what correctly happened with that fence, as the wind is now blowing and the panels are now leaning further on Miss Fernandez's side. And that's how they chose to deal with it. That's what happened with that fence. And it has escalated. This has only been going on, Your Honor, now over these last couple of weeks, because the escalation of that fence being removed, me calling the contractor to have the contractor put up the 3-foot one to protect mine until the silk cream's done to fulfill my duties. I knew that it was going to escalate to this, and this is exactly what it escalated to, and that's why I'm here today. The theft of that wood fence and the theft of that contractor's fence, sir, to cover it up and to prevent me from fulfilling my duty. I again apologize for my foul mouth to Ms. Fernandez. It's a tool to protect and defend myself against the forced encroachments like the sign and the garbage can, the parking, the peeking in the windows of this man.
Okay, so ma'am, and I'm ready to rule here on this case. You know, first of all, one thing I noticed that I haven't mentioned before now, and you say, well, this is all about offense, a fairly recent occurrence. That's not actually accurate. This is the 4th time we've been here between you folks. You know, this is the 4th time they've been asking for an order, going back to February of 2024. That's coming up on 2 years ago. So this is based, that tells me that this has actually been going on for a long time. And Mr. Cook was involved in that as well. And so, you know, people can park on the street. You know, I heard what she said about the catalytic converter, which I know is an issue, which may create the car might be louder than normal. But on the other hand, your response to that, the way that you agreed, apparently it's at least somewhat of how you interacted and how you responded, and the names that you've called Ms. Fernandez, now involving somehow her child and all, or their child in all of this. You know, that I find that does rise to the level of harassment. And the only thing in front of me here today is whether or not an order is going to be entered for those two. And I am going to enter an order. There's not going to be a distance restriction. You're just not to talk to them. They're just not a part of your life for the next year. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Sure.
And so that way there's no good talk, no bad talk, just no talking. You understand?
Yes, sir.
You can go on about your business and they can go on about theirs. And, you know, having said that, you know, that doesn't affect your ability to use your property the way, you know, you want to use. If you think you have an action against them for some offense, you can pursue that. But, you know, I'm not making any rulings on that. You're just not to contact them. Don't. And that's based on the pattern of, you know, again, by your own admission, you know, things and terrible things that you've referred to Ms. Fernandez as well as your interaction with Mr. Cook, and given the emotional situations where you're waving a knife around, that would give anyone pause, I would
Threatening to
think.
spread people.
And so, given that pattern that's existed over the years, I find that an order is appropriate. And it'll be in place for 1 year from today. And if you wait for a minute, we'll give you a copy. And then after that, you're free to go.
Your Honor, would that, will I still be able to fulfill that silk screen on that?
Ma'am, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't,
I just was
I'm frank,
wondering.
I mean, I will be frank with you. I had a really tough time following what you meant by all that. I mean, you know, if it's an improvement to your property or something you do under the covenants, yeah, the only thing this order does is keep you from talking to them. That's all.
Okay.
I don't know anything about the covenants. I don't know anything about what's required there, or anything like that. But no, that doesn't, this just makes you stay away from them. That's all.
Okay.
Because I get the feeling that they really don't want to have any contact with you. That's, I believe that based on my observing Ms. Fernandez, Mr. Cook, and you. They just want to be done with all of this. And hopefully you want the same thing.
That's correct.
And then if you comply with this order, then that would be true.
Thank you,
That
sir.
would, okay. And then a copy of this, you guys can get a copy of this off the Thurston County District Court website.
Well, there we have it. I'd love to say that I'm on the fence about this one, but clearly not. Like, the lady obviously has some serious issues. She's as mad as a bag of cats. But anyway, lads and lassies, thank you so much for joining me for this one. I knew it was going to be a good one. I had to flick through it before posting it, obviously, and because I rather do a live kind of a reaction to it. But I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure and hit that thumbs up button, and we'll catch you all in the next one. Sláinte.